Scuffmaster, pretty tough paint. ENVIROMETAL by Scuffmaster is an innovative hand-applied metallic paint system available in both a brushed and rolled finish. Its low odor, low VOC, and LEED-compliant formulation makes it a great option for many interior applications. In this video, we will cover the application of ENVIROMETAL, the tools needed for each finish, the products involved, and the actual techniques. A quick word about surface prep. ENVIROMETAL is a highly reflective finish. Any surface imperfections that can be detected visually or felt by hand should be addressed. The surface needs to be as smooth as possible. ENVIROMETAL is a two-product finish. Tinted primer, available as either a primer sealer or as a bonding primer, and the metallic base coat. Apply the primer. Because ENVIROMETAL is a reflective finish, the tinted primer should be as smooth as possible. ENVIROMETAL Techniques. ENVIROMETAL is a two-coat application, and each coat is 2 steps. Rolling the metallic paint and then either back rolling or brushing, depending on the specified finish. Rolling. Tools. There are 2 roller setups, one with a standard roller cover and the second with the Worcester Polar Bear that was included with your order. For this video, we are using a 1/2-inch standard roller cover for the first step of the application. However, depending on the size and scope of your particular project, a heavier nap roller cover may be beneficial. Tip: because the polar bear will pick up paint as the project moves along, it can help the consistency of the finish to load the polar bear with paint and scrape off the excess. To begin, apply using brush and immediately pass a mini roller, such as a whiz roller, over the wet area to eliminate all brush strokes. This is how all areas that will require brushing will be handled. Allow cutting to thoroughly dry before rolling with a 9-inch roller unless working on a small area, such as an elevator door. Use the roller with the standard cover to apply the metallic paint on the surface from floor to ceiling and approximately 2 to 3 linear feet. Spread the paint evenly, but don't spend too much time worrying about lines or lap marks. While the metallic is still wet, immediately switch to the polar bear and lightly back roll over the surface once or twice. Backrolling the metallic paint will leave a more even finish. Be sure to roll just past the edge of each section to make blending easier. Depending on the size of the substrate, it might be easier if 2 painters install ENVIROMETAL. The first painter applies a metallic paint with the standard roller cover, and that is immediately backrolled by the second painter using the polar bear roller. Once the first coat is thoroughly dry, because conditions vary, wait a minimum of 1 to 2 hours. Apply the second coat using the same process of applying the metallic paint and backrolling with the polar bear. Brushing. Tools needed: a standard roller setup with a 1/2-inch nap roller cover and a 3-inch nylon bristle brush. This finish begins with applying the metallic paint in a manageable work area, approximately 3 square feet, using a standard roller cover. While the paint is still wet, use a 3-inch brush to brush out the metallic. Be sure to brush out the entire area. Any area with a stipple and not a brush stroke will telegraph through the finish. Because this is a 2-step application, don't spend too much time on the pattern on the first coat. The goal is to cover the entire wall and brush out the stipple. Be sure to feather out the edges. Let the first coat dry sufficiently. Because conditions vary, allow a minimum of 1 hour. The second coat follows the same process, but this time use a random overlapping or crisscross brush stroke, paying more attention to the pattern and design. The result should be a random brush effect with no visible horizontal or vertical striping. Using a roller, apply a liberal amount of paint. Start from a couple inches out, swing in tight to the corner, and back out in one continuous motion. In other random areas, start with the brush tight in the corner and pull out while turning to create a semicircle. This technique is used when creating a curved pattern. If using a straight pattern design, start from the inside of the corner and in a random manner, pull the brush from the inside and blend outward. Do this using a mix of diagonal, vertical, and horizontal strokes. ENVIROMETAL brushed repair. If compound has been used, sand smooth and using a 100% acrylic primer sealer, spot prime using brush, roller, or spray. 2 coats may be needed to thoroughly seal the compound. It typically helps to use a tinted primer rather than white. For small areas, a roller is not needed. Apply Envirometal by brush and match the existing pattern design. Softly blend wet into surrounding dry area. Allow to dry and repeat this process going slightly larger than the first coat. Typically, 2 coats will suffice. Envirometal rolled repair. If the area that needs repair requires compound, allow the compound to dry thoroughly and sand smooth, and spot prime using 100% acrylic primer sealer. Apply with a roller, making sure to feather the outer edges of the touched-up area. 2 light coats are typically better than 1 heavy coat. Make sure primed area has thoroughly sealed the compound and allow primer to dry completely. Follow all solid metal mixing, setup instruction, and equipment requirements. The painting procedure. Set up the 2-roller system as instructed in the application settings for EM. Apply with the first roller and quickly switch to the polar bear roller and lightly back roll. Make sure the outer edges are feathered out and do not overwork the area. Allow to dry and repeat this process, which may take 2 to 3 coats. Scuffmaster Pretty Tough Paint.